Peace and blessings, man. This brother Elihu L. coming to you from Baltimore, Maryland. All right. I'm going to talk to y'all today, man, about the power of the beast and the the homosexual presence that exists throughout history and in the present, and the different forms it has manifested itself and the power that it wields. All right. So let's begin with the civil rights movement. All right. Now, what civil rights does? It's a goddamn It's a concept, as I taught y'all. It's a concept. All right. It's a concept that only exists in idea. And the only way it functions throughout the society as a reality is because of the ignorance that is because of the power that ignorance feeds it. Motherfuckers that don't understand it or have an idea of what it really consists of. That's why it's so important. I keep telling y'all guys, man, and y'all sisters, it's so important to understand language. Civil rights means civilian rights. That's what the fuck it means, civilian rights. And what it basically does is it's giving the beast enough validation and honor as to put it on a pedestal to dictate authority, to dictate policy. Okay? You're allowing the beast to dictate policy when you believe or practice civil rights. Okay? If you engage in it, indulge in it in any way, shape, or form, you're putting the beast on a pedestal and in a position of authority to speak down on you. He is a daddy speaking to a son. He is an authoritative figure speaking to a non-authoritative figure, or a follower, or a servant, or a slave. Okay? That's what civilian rights does. This is what atheism does. When you are an atheist, you remove God from the entire concept on existence. Existence, the whole totality of existence, is God is removed from the equation totally. Okay? So now once you remove God from the equation totally, then it opens the door for shit like civil rights. Because see, when God is in the picture, you are already born free. You're born free because God made you. And you were born free. So you don't have to fight for civil rights. You were born with what the white man considers himself being born with. Inalienable rights. God-given rights. So therefore, you don't believe in the concept, or you won't buy into the concept or the idea that civilian rights is something you have to fight for. You won't buy into that or play that game with the beast if you already know that you were born and made by God, and you were born with rights because God made you the custodian of the planet. God gave you authority even over his angels, because the first damn thing he did when he made man was told every fucking thing in existence that he made to bow down to you, the black man. So along comes a spider, along comes a cracker that says, no, this is where white supremacy first rears its ugly head. Okay? When God made you, black man, and told all things, told the Elohim, the seven spirits, man, earth, plant, beast, protoplast, cherubim, and seraphim. That's seven. Man, earth, plant, beast, protoplast. That's five. Then the two angel forms, cherubim and seraphim, to bow down to man. When God gave man dominion over the seven spirits of the Elohim, because it is from these seven spirits everything that is, was, or will be was created. All right? So when he gave you dominion over that, here is where white supremacy first rears its ugly head. In comes Iblis. And Iblis says this quote, no. For I am made of the sun and the stars and fire, and he is made of the dust and the dirt of earth. I'm better than him. So, this battle between good and evil, between white and black, is an age-old battle since the beginning of man. Okay? This is not new. And we have many examples of this battle in your book called the Bible. And one of my favorite examples is the book of Job, first chapter. When God is having court or council with the 24 elders, okay? And in walks Satan. So God asks him, from whence thou cometh, Satan? And just like how God sits on the four corners of the earth, Satan answers him this way. From walking up and down, north and south, back and forth, east and west, the earth. So he's telling God, I've been coming from the four corners of the earth, the places where you sit and reign, seeking whom I can devour. Because he told man, he told God, when God cast him out of heaven, when he fell from grace, he made God this promise. And it's in the Holy Quran. Know for surety, I'm going to attack this motherfucker you made from the front to back, his left, his right, from above and below. From 6 goddamn dimensions, he's going to come at man. All right? Now, man, I don't know, I'm not going to get too much into physics, but before you non-learned individuals start talking about it's only 3 dimensions, it's 9 dimensions. All right? It's 9 dimensions. You have length, width, depth, breadth. It's 9 of them. All right. So now, this homosexual agenda, civil rights. Martin Luther King got his start as a Baptist preacher, and he was just doing a little few community things or whatever, and he started to make a name for himself. So immediately, the Jews, the motherfucking Jews, they sick on them, this dude named Bayard Rustin. And Bayard is a faggot. And Bayard would have been groomed to be our leader, except he had this homosexual thing going. But know this shit. Had it been in today's time as opposed to 40 years ago, Bayard would have been the leader. Because right now, the homosexuals are wielding so much power, and now they no longer have to hide who they are. In fact, they get more goddamn recognition as being a powerful entity that they have become by admitting they're gay. Okay? And believe me, they are more solidified and unified. They have more solidarity and unity than black people right now. And they backing each other's moves. Okay? They backing each other's moves with support, and they backing each other's moves with their dollars. All right? So this is why I want to know. How come, along with the racists, Hispanics, Asians, Hindus, Arabs, now you got homosexuals? Okay, everybody is out competing and outperforming African Americans that make up a small percentage of what we make up. You have to start beginning to reverse engineer your social programming, man. You know, anything that's been engineered or put together can be dismantled, man. You can reverse engineer these things, but you have to start listening to those people who have the knowledge on how to begin to break these cycles, how to begin to break this programming. You know what I mean? I teach you a little bit on how to break this programming, but there are people out there way better than me. Okay? But you got to start somewhere, man. You know, my thing is for certain individuals, the way that I go about doing it. I have a certain appeal to a certain type of people, you know what I mean, who feel more comfortable in discussing matters with me as opposed to a doctor, you know, that's doing the same thing. because I look like them and I talk like them, and they can, you know, kind of look at me more eye to eye. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, you have to feel comfortable, you know, and the person has to feel like you're approachable, because the only way you're going to obtain knowledge and understand, you can obtain knowledge any kind of way, reading books, watching videos, and everything. But see, knowledge without understanding is bullshit. Knowledge without understanding is just regurgitating some memorized shit. But when you got understanding of something, you can then begin to teach that thing to another person, because you understand it frontwards and backwards, upside down. You can, you know, flip it and bounce it 5 different ways, all through your legs, around your back. You can dribble that motherfucker, spin it on your finger, and slam dunk that motherfucker backwards, because you have full understanding. That's why Solomon says, seek ye knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. But of the 3, seek understanding the most. So Bayard Rustin becomes the puppeteer of Dr. King. He's the behind the scenes curtain man of Dr. King and the civil rights movement. He's the one that begins to sell. King doesn't have this nonviolent strategy when he's first doing community work, and still, you know, doing things from behind the pulpit. The non-violent shit was given to him and taught to him through the faggy named Bayard Rustin. Alright? Now, what they don't tell you is Bayard liked their white boys. Bayard liked to be tied up and beaten by white boys. Alright? That was his thing. He wanted to be gagged on white dick, with white dick down his throat. He wanted his hands tied behind his back, punched in the eye, punched in the jaw. He liked to get his ass beat by white boys. That was his thing. He was in the white men. Alright? So now it makes sense as to where this nonviolent thing come to. You were dealing with a faggy sociopath. That's what you was dealing with. Alright? A faggy sociopath, sadistic sociopath that was into sadomasochist sex rituals and bondage and dominance, is the father of the civil rights movement. Unfucking real. Unfucking real. But that's the truth of the matter. Alright? So Martin struggled with that shit. And near the end, while they killed Martin, Martin was on the verge of saying, fuck this nonviolence thing, because it ain't getting us nowhere. He had made a backdoor room meeting with Malcolm, and he was about to repudiate the whole nonviolent movement and was getting ready to tell black people to fight back. He had disassociated himself from Bayard, told Bayard Rustin to step. That's when they began grooming Jesse and bringing Jesse in on Martin. Okay? And they made promises to Jesse. Remember, Jesse and Martin and Bayard was all motherfucking fraternity oath takers, and they were Masons. They were the beast oath takers. Okay? Double oath takers. Alright? So Jesse was to sell Martin out for the 20 pieces of silver like Judas. You know what I mean? And in doing so, he was promised to be the one. So that's why Jesse had to be close with Martin. You know, seen with Martin. But Martin couldn't stand Jesse. Didn't want him around him. Martin had discovered Jesse was an agent. An FBI flunky. Alright? See, this is the shit that they never told you. Alright? But I'm Brother Elihu telling you. So don't even, look, all that marching shit is bullshit. It's bullshit. That NAACP shit is bullshit. Stop letting them pick your motherfucking leaders and trick bagging the shit out of y'all. Alright? Know that shit, man. Get with some real niggas like me, man. I talk to niggas all day long and shit. And I have yet very few to say, well, what you want to do, brother? Let's get busy. You know what I'm saying? I've passed the ball to a few individuals out there in Google World and shit on us starting a black Illuminati. You know what I mean? I understand that shit so much so, man, that we can use, you know, the same type of tactics and shit that they use to lay down a foundation, you know what I'm saying, that in let's say 50 years, we could start beginning to see our motherfucking secret plans take fruition. Because that's one thing I love about the Illuminati and Adam Weishaupt and those members who were part of this group, is they had a dream and an idea that they labored for generation after generation. And they trained their children to be part of this noble brotherhood. And that they were supposed to labor and sacrifice for this dream. And 240 years later, they saw their dream into fruition when they gained control over the world. All right? So, we can make these type of sacrifices. But I have to start getting the, y'all got to start hitting me up, man. Hit me up to, like, you know what I mean? So I can get to know y'all a little better, this, that, and the other, man. Because I got some shit, Jack. I got some shit that I can't even reveal right now because it's just so powerful and dynamic, and it's going to make the shit happen. You know what I'm saying? But I need brothers in different states, too. I got brothers here. You know what I'm saying? But I need y'all out there in Google world, man. Because y'all the ones that's going to start these little bases in different states and shit. And it'll spread just like the motherfucking Bloods and Crips. We don't die, we multiply. And that's how we'll be. And these things got to be operated in secrecy. And they have to be, it's a lot of sacrifice and labor involved. But this is Brother Elihu L. Peace.